Welcome to my first look at the Napoli. It is a legendary Italian cruiser. It is the very first Italian Bureau Project. The ship has smoke, semi-armor piercing secondaries, it has torpedoes, it is armor clad, it does start fires pretty quickly, and I find it a pretty reliable ship that you can always do pretty well in a battle, or a lot of times you can do well in a standard match with this ship. So with that, let's get into the setup of the ship and the commander, who is Francisco Mimbelli. Base trait is time to make a move, which improves the cruiser main battery reload time. And for inspirations, I have Norman Scott for directed impact, which improves the cruiser main battery shell grouping. And then I have Baltimore, which improves the rudder shift time. And here for the first skill, I have Ingenious, which improves cruiser's gun traverse speed and incoming splash damage. And it also shows a warning indicator for the number of enemy ships currently targeting your ship with their main batteries. Then I have Full Speed Ahead, maximum cruiser speed, and rudder shift time is improved. And then we have Sponge, incoming damage to your cruiser, armaments HP, and armaments repair time are all improved. And then we have steer clear, rudder shift time, and steering gear repair time is improved. And this is a basic agile commander setup here. And this is just the guy that I've went with. Got him ranked up at 16.2, legendary rank 2. And I've selected fully packed for the legendary skill. Cooldown time for all consumables is improved, and you get an extra consumable charge. Special effect is a cooldown time for all those consumables is reduced by 30%. when you are within 2 kilometers of an allied ship, and that is at legendary rank 2 as we said. Moving up to legendary rank 4 will increase that radius to 3.5 kilometers. And the upgrades for the Napoli, first one is main battery mod 2, which improves the main battery traverse speed. And this was an issue. The main battery traverse speed is pretty horrible, and you definitely needed that upgrade. And then I went with propulsion mod 2. Time taken to reach full power when accelerating is improved by 50%, and the ship was very sluggish when I went with a true rudder shift time, with a true agile build. That was terrible. I really had to go with propulsion mod 2 to make things happen here. And for the third upgrade slot, we do have concealment system mod 1. I was experimenting around a little bit with steering gears mod 3, but in the end I was getting much better performance with concealment system mod 1. Detectability range is improved by 10%, and the incoming fire dispersion is improved by 5%, and this essentially doubles up from any fully upgraded camo you may have on the ship. And then here we went with main battery mod 3, and I do have the epic modernization here, but I didn't have it when I was doing the initial testing of the Napoli. So main battery reload time is improved, but the traverse time takes a hit at 15%. So between the traverse speed taking a hit here at 15% and the traverse speed being helped out there in the first upgrade slot, that was kind of a wash. Loadout, you have your normal ammunition, high explosive shells, armor piercing shells, and torpedoes. Consumables, damage control party, duration is 5 seconds, reloads every 58 seconds, and there is an unlimited number of those consumables. Then we have a rolling smoke generator rather than the AA consumable. Duration is 20 seconds. Dispersion time is 35 seconds, and it reloads every 176 seconds. And there are 3 of those consumables. Then we have the catapult fighter. We have 4 of them, and that is awesome because it does help spot when you're in the smoke, actually. So catapult fighters are good. Duration is 100 seconds, reloads every 78 seconds, and there are 4 of those consumables. Repair party partially restores the ship's HP by repairing any light damage at the rate of 295 hit points per second. Duration is 28 seconds, reloads every 78 seconds, and there are 3 of those consumables. And then for the camo, the ship does not come with a camo, so I created a grade 4 premium permanent camouflage from Regia Marina. Disposable camos, sea detectability range and incoming fire dispersion is 4.5% respectively. And the loadout, survivability hit points is 59,200. Armor is 16 to 330 millimeters. Ship is rated at armor clad. So the armor is basically better than most cruisers is what I'm going to say. Torpedo damage reduction is 21%. Artillery, you have 9 guns. They reach out to 15.5 kilometers. Reload every 14.5 seconds. Traverse time is 20 seconds. HE shells have a maximum damage of 3450. Fire setting chance is 16%. Armor piercing is 6150 for maximum damage. And a secondary armament, they are semi-armor piercing with a maximum of 2,000 and 3850 respectively there. They reach out to 5 kilometers, and it looks like 24 secondary guns. Torpedoes, you have 2 racks of 4 torpedoes each. They reload every 95 seconds. Maximum damage is 13,900. Range is 13.5 kilometers, but they are pretty slow at 56 knots. And here are your AA defenses. At least you've got some. I haven't really noticed that you can clear the sky with the Napoli. A lot of the Italian battleships are pretty good at clearing the sky, so we might be able to clear the sky with Napoli eventually. We'll have to wait and see. Maximum speed is 37 knots. Turning circle radius is 750 meters, which I guess is okay for a cruiser. Rudder shift time is 10 seconds here with this build, and the concealment with this build is 9.9 kilometers. With the steering gears, the concealment went right around 11 kilometers or so, so you do drop a kilometer by going with the concealment option. Upgrade slot number 3. Detectability range by air is 6.2 kilometers, and the all-important detectability while firing into smoke is 7.6 kilometers. And here's the armor. There is a lot of orange armor here, but you do have the green in the bow and the stern. Let's remove some of the armor and take a look at the citadel. And yeah, that is a bit of a stepped up citadel there, and you don't really want to do much bow tanking because of that green armor there down in the front and no doubt the rear of the citadel. 25 to 26 millimeter, and yeah, there's not really much good going on here. If you're broadside to a battleship, you will get eliminated as per usual. So regardless of what this looks like, be careful about going broadside. Overview. Ship is ironclad, has an above average armor thickness with greater resistance to all forms of armor penetration. That is awesome. That should come in handy. And it has an above average HP base rating. It is tough. And the smoke generator can disperse a smoke screen and stay hidden at full speed. So we'll be checking that out. So then the Napoli is a project of a large heavy cruiser armed with 254 millimeter guns, developed by the Ansaldo in the second half of the 1930s. Year of design was 1936, and it doesn't look like there were any ships in the series. All right, well, that's it for the setup of the ship and the commander. Let's go out in a standard battle and check out some highlights. All right, the match is starting. We are in crash zone, and there's a couple Shimakazes and a Goering on the other team, a Kronstadt, Yoshino Colbert, and a bunch of battleships. So with the better armor here on the Napoli, it's still, cruiser grade armor, but it is a pretty tough ship. I'm going to play this more or less in open water, not really hide behind islands all that much. You'll see that especially as the match progresses, but what I'm going to do is try to keep a proper angle to the red team ships, not really give them much of a broadside at all. But it's kind of difficult when you have all these ships on a team during the match. It's kind of difficult to make sure that you're not broadside against 100% of everybody. It seems like there will always be somebody that will have you broadside. So yeah, it's kind of a challenge, but this is the way that I'm going to play the ship here. I am spotted, and I have no idea where the destroyer would be. It is obviously a destroyer with a 9-kilometer concealment here. He has got to be within 9 kilometers of me, and I have no idea where he is. One thing I did want to point out about the Bureau Project is on segment 5, you do need the Zara, Tier 6 Zara, to complete segment 5 of the Napoli Bureau Project. Otherwise, you will not be able to progress any further. And on segment 9, you will need the Tier 7 Amalfi. So if you have both of those ships, you'll be able to breeze right through the Napoli Bureau Project. In some ways, I do understand why that is a requirement, so that you just can't zip right into a legendary tier ship without previous experience in the Italian cruiser line. So yeah, that is a requirement. Not really a gotcha so much, but it is kind of what you need to make sure that you have if you're going to progress through this Bureau Project. So there is that destroyer. Luckily for me, he lit up his smoke screen and I can see where he's at. And we are going to fire some torpedoes and see if he's moving around the smoke screen or whether he's just going to stay there and become a victim to the oldest trick in the book as far as sitting in smoke screens. Here we are going to move around and get our second rack of torpedoes on him. And look at this. The Napoli is really moving around pretty good here, and that is without a double rudder setup here. So this is the normal setup with a concealment mod on upgrade number 3, and the ship really does move around pretty good. So I didn't really see that there was a major, huge improvement when I went with a double rudder setup here. And yeah, wasted a lot of matches experimenting with that. I should have gone with the concealment on upgrade slot number 3 from the get-go, and the engine mod on upgrade slot number 2. So hopefully you won't make the same mistake. And if you're experimenting with it, let me know what you think down below. You might have different results or better ideas. There's certainly that possibility. So here I have slowed up. We did hit that destroyer in the smoke screen. Look at that. Unfortunately, we did not take him out, and I guess he damaged cons right away. But it was, you know, a fair amount of damage right there on that torpedo, and it did cause a flood. So that is awesome. The smoke screen isn't going to be around here forever, but I kind of do have my eyes on this Yamato here. Hopefully, he'll come around the island, and I could hit him with another torpedo, which has reloaded already. Look at that, and now I am spotted because my smoke screen is up. So again, I'm not really sure where the destroyer is. He could have moved away from that smoke screen, and I just can't see him because his detection is within like 5 kilometers or so, and I just can't see him at that point. But the fact that I am lit up like this is really bad. I'm in the open water. Everybody could take a pot shot at me, and in some cases I can't even see where the shells are coming from. So I'm kind of worried about getting taken out right here in the open water, specifically because I cannot see who is targeting me. So I'm going around in a circle here because I'm expecting that Yamato to come around the island, and I'm sort of looking to take him out. There you go. So the aiming indicator is going toward the end of the island, and he is starting to move. So I'm going to be looking to take that Yamato out. The Musashi is still out of range. And yeah, with only like a 15-kilometer main gun range or so, that is a little bit of a limitation, but I have noticed that the Napoli does start fires extremely efficiently. It also has a really great armor-piercing shells. And the secondaries, even though there's semi-armor-piercing secondaries, I don't really want to get into range to really check that out, to be completely honest with you. There, that Yamato, his guns are not pointing at me, so that is awesome. For me, it's not so great for the guy who the Yamato is pointing at. Probably, yeah, probably that cruiser right there. Look at that. The cruiser is pretty close to him. That doesn't look good for the cruiser, actually. So I'm sort of expecting the cruiser to get eliminated. And let's see what cruiser that is, if he can pop up there. And we did hit the Yamato with a torpedo. Are we going to check out that the cruiser? Going to swing around. Oh, it's a Stalingrad. All right. I didn't know a Stalingrad could charge a Yamato like that. Well, I guess it's good to know. Maybe he's doing a YOLO on him. And maybe he's going to ram him. I don't know. Looks like something's going on there. And somehow the Yamato looks a little bit worse than that Stalingrad. That's interesting. But we are going to try. Oh, see, there you go. We are going to try to take him out. And we did start a fire, but the Stalingrad got the destroyed ship. Good team kill right there. We're up to 35,000 damage on 27 main gun hits, a couple of torpedo hits, and there's a Shimakaze just sitting there. We're going to try to blind fire him. He's in the smoke, and I don't think we're going to get anything there, but we are going to come around and check out this Musashi. And that Musashi promptly got taken out by my teammates' torpedoes. So let me see. It is a pretty close match. Look at that. The red team has 2 of the bases. We only have 1, and it's almost an identical score. There is a Yoshino. Now, when I am out in the open water in my Yoshino, I get obliterated by people. And we're just going to see how this Yoshino fares. There were 4 main gun hits on a Yoshino, but not much damage. We're only up to 34,000, 39,000 damage. We got the HE shells. We've switched over to armor piercing. We're going to fire some torpedoes and try to get some citadel hits on that Yoshino. And that Yoshino, I know for a fact, can definitely wreck me going broadside like this. So hopefully I'll get reloaded and can take a shot at him. Hopefully take him out, maybe. And there is a citadel hit on three main gun hits, and he got taken out by my teammates. So I actually thought that I was the one who took him out, but it doesn't really matter. Bottom line is we are starting to move ahead in the match, and there are the torpedoes from the Yoshino. And all right, so there is a Marlborough. I'm going to go right at him and try to get some more damage here, and hopefully he's going to be occupied by my teammates. Looks like his guns are pointed in the other direction, so this is good for me at the moment. Still have armor piercing. I'm checking out the chunking capabilities of the armor piercing shells here on the Napoli. And 55,000 damage. There's a couple thousand more damage. See what these other shells do, and he gets taken out by my teammates' torpedoes, and I think that's the guy who's working on a Kraken. Turns out at the end of the match I do not end up as high on the leaderboard as I thought, because the 2 other ships on my team did a superior job, and one of them did get a Kraken by the time it was all done. So that'll be interesting to check that out, but I don't really know about that yet. So now the score is pretty much evened out again, and my initial reaction is to go after that Shimakaze over there, but then I'm thinking, you know, we have 2 bases that we've captured. We're up by 10 points, and maybe I want to turn around and go hide behind an island and make these destroyers come after me and kind of like, well, run out the clock, basically. Force them to try to take the base and hopefully run out the clock. And here I'm spotted. I have no idea where the destroyer is or which destroyer it is. But yeah, I am deciding to go behind the island and just hide over here and wait for them to come in. Look at this turning circle, and this is without the double rudders going. So this is awesome. I think that the Napoli, once you get up to speed here, it turns just fine. And you want to use the engine mod to increase your acceleration, and you are doing okay with the ship. If you don't have the engine mod and you try to go for a true double rudder setup, your acceleration will be so slow that it's pretty much unbearable, and you will get taken out because you can't move around and you just have too long in one location, and the red team will lock on you and basically take you out. So here I am going to turn around and go over by my teammates over here, and I'm just going to stop behind this island and make these guys come and start capturing the base and come after me. So here you can see the points are starting to rack up a little bit. We are up by 50 points. Still, though, I think if one of my teammates gets taken out, that will even up a little bit too much, actually. So we are not out of the woods yet. We can still lose this match. But I am not going to go run out and chase into those guys and, yeah, get obliterated when I have an easy win. Well, I don't know about easy win, but it's kind of a for sure win. It's if I don't do anything dumb and put myself at risk and get taken out, and when there's no need to be taken out, get taken out, then should win the match. So that's what I'm doing. I'm in preservation mode right here. And so, yeah, so A is starting to be taken, and there is a Shimakaze right over here by B, it looks like. No, right over here by A. B is way out there. And yeah, because of the perspective, at first I thought that that was A, but it's not. A is right here, and that's where this destroyer is starting to capture. So I'm going to come around here and throw some torpedoes in the direction of that Shimakaze, and he has overrun his smoke. So now I'm going to work on him with my HE shells, and there is 4,000 damage. And here is a problem with the Napoli. You can see that the auto aim is popping way to the left of the Shimakaze when I hit the sighting button, the zoom button. And this is it's a bug that was kind of noticed, and yeah, I think they're going to be working on a fix for that. But that, yeah, you want to be careful of that with the Napoli. I'm sure it'll be fixed by the time everybody gets the ship out of the Bureau, but yeah, you want to watch out for that. It doesn't show up all the time, though, but here the Shimakaze goes into the smoke, so now I'm going to try to be the king of the blind fires, and there you go. I don't know if I'm really the king, but I certainly got that guy on a blind fire, and wow, look at all those ribbons up there on the upper right. They're starting to pile up there. That is a lot of ribbons right there. We're up to 12 ribbons. I think we're going to have a couple more by the time the match is over with. And yes, 60 main gun hits, flooding, captured base, 8 defended. So that should help out the XP, I think. And now I'm being spotted by the lone remaining destroyer. So now what I want to do is turn away from him. And if he fires torpedoes at me, try to let the torpedoes run themselves out. 72,000 damage is pretty good. And the match is over with. Holy cow, look at that. All right, that was a big time victory for the Napoli. We earned 278,000 credits, 72,000 battle performance, total damage on 60 main gun hits, 2 torpedo hits, destroyed ship, a couple fires that we started, and in a lot of matches in the Napoli, I start far more fires than just 2 fires. We did get a Citadel hit, 8 defended, captured base, and 5 secondary hits. So look at that. You do have secondaries on the Napoli, so you want to be mindful of that. And all right, let's see how we did on the team result. All right, 3rd place overall, 2,300 is not really that bad of a score in general, but we did make the top 3. And look at that Shimakaze player with the 5 destroyed ships. He got the Kraken with 2,800 XP, and the Stalingrad player that went up against that Yamato and took that guy out, congratulations to him with 2,500 XP on 2 destroyed ships. All right, well, that is it for the first look at the Napoli and a little bit about what you can expect if you get the ship out of the Bureau. And yeah, for segment 5, you need the Zara, and segment 9, you need the Amalfi. But other than that, it's a normal Bureau project.
It seems to hold its place pretty well as one of the better cruisers in the game, certainly among the legendary ranks. Let me know what you think down below. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you like it.